Hello, everybody. This is Fearmy Games with the next part of my Divided Empire Rome 2 Total War. Technically, it's supposed to be Total War Rome 2, but close enough. Play through. We've been making some progress, taking over territories of Armenia, defeating a Armenian army. We are now ready to go on the offensive, assuming that we do not get backstabbed. I am still waiting for... Oh, I kind of forgot that I actually took Saracena. I'm being entirely honest with you. I had forgotten I did that. Let's upgrade this one to a civil settlement, I guess. But, well, plans are to make a third army, actually not a third army, a fourth army over here in Macheta. That way you can take Kabbalah and swing around, and hopefully we will be able to continue this war and win it. Right now, I honestly think I should attack Tushpa, but I don't know what's going in Fraspa. Do I have a scouting unit anywhere? I want to check before I make a horrible life choice. So I can take Fraspa. That'll be one enemy completely out of the way. He seems to have the beginnings of an army, but not a complete army, however. So I'm thinking maybe I'll move to attack him. Well, Tushpa is a nice-looking target. It does leave these armies to just push into Armavir and cause me problems. Well, Tushpa is not quite ready to attack. Even this Champions of Ishtar shouldn't be in a position to attack Armavir, I think. I could be wrong. And if I'm wrong, that's awkward, but I'm hoping I'm not. I'm going to move this army, however, to Armavir. It still needs to be built, but I can make some very weak units, at least for now, to kind of cover it, I guess. If nothing else, having those archers and the cav units there will hopefully make it a little bit less enticing for the enemy. Especially because Armavir is one of the ones I'm heavily investing in right now. Caron, what's the army situation here? This one I can actually attack with. Where's my champion? So my champion's the one that's scouting kind of over here for me. Check to see if there's any armies coming over here, just to be on the safe side. Meanwhile, I think maybe we'll just attack. But don't think I can attack this turn, can I? Oh, I can, in fact, actually attack. Apparently we can just auto-resolve this battle. It's just a small garrison army. But I kind of should probably attack this. The reason why, hear me out, is because the fact that, is I want to limit the amount of damage I take at taking the city. And I think I can do a better job than the AI can, or at least the auto-resolve will, at taking the city with minimal losses. I could be wrong, and I could take more losses than the auto-resolve would have, but you guys get a battle out of it. I think that's a win-win situation, right? Right? So let's start battle. Looks like it's a pretty flat battlefield. They have a little bit of a hill in their advantage, but that's not the end of the world. So we'll put this guy in the center, because he looks to be relatively healthy. And we'll have him flanked by some hoplite units. The other two, who seem like... This one's the only one that's really wounded, I think. The other things are maxed out, right? Yeah. We get him in the general back here, and the baggage train out of the way. Then we'll set up our archers, step archers, as they call themselves. Warriors eager for blood and glory, I imagine. Let me get these guys out of the way as well, because these guys are also designed more for the flanks and the front lines. Hoplites ready. I wonder if these are my only access to axes, because I can safely say these axes so far have been super nice to have. I love having this armor-piercing damage. It's been super useful in the few times at the end I've encountered heavily armored troops. Gives my melee infantry much needed damage. Militia, hoplites are mostly tanky units. Usually they kill their enemies just by being tankier than they are. That's usually how they win that's how they usually win battles. The higher level ones can do some decent damage, but these guys are specifically against armors, which means these guys could probably beat hoplites head on. Well, maybe not head on. Hoplites are still pretty strong, but definitely like using a flank with my militia hoplite and these guys flanking them could easily take out an enemy hoplite of a higher tier. Lock the group. I like how I can't suddenly see the enemy army. Let me make sure they're walking. So I want them to stay in formation. Yeah. So let's start speeding things up real fast. Just to make sure, because I don't want to tire my troops out by needlessly running them. So the only way to make this work is to just speed things up. We can see our professional hoplites and their armor and their fancy shields advancing. And then we have our militias, who are not quite so fancy shields. There's a couple of them with nicer shields. But yeah, they're not really armored. They're mostly just in padded clothes and stuff like that. You know, they're militia. They're not professionals. And then we have our axemen here. What do you guys look like? You guys look a little bit nicer. It looks like leather and, oops, and padded cloth, I think. Oops. Sorry for that. I'm using my phone to light myself up a little bit. That way I'm not super dark. And it kind of slipped a little bit. And there's my fancy cavalry. My Bosphorus hoplites and my general. Can I find him, actually, if I look? Is he going to be in, like, the center, probably, you think? Is that him? Or is he more on the edge? It's hard to tell. Usually, like, you know, in the older games, they'd be, like, right here. But it's hard to tell where he is exactly. Okay, so how goes it looks like the enemy has not yet moved. And then, of course, our Scythian archers are dressed in, like, their normal clothing. The heathens. Hey, it looks like, look, there's a little bit of, like, a captain of them, of their guard, guys. He looks actually kind of not pretty good. Probably still has shit stats because he's still, like, part of an archer group. I'd be surprised if they had, like, a general guy that's had better stats than the archers. Oh, no, that's not how I want you guys to be formed up at all. Panic! The enemy must still be further up in the hills than I thought they would be, because I don't see them yet. They must be up here, which will give them some nice cover. So let's start moving. Let's keep moving up here. I think would probably be the best way. Well, let's do more, a little bit over to the left. And can I move that a little bit over? There we go. Better, better, better. Let's not be hasty. We don't need to run. As the wise tree once said, don't be hasty now. Don't be hasty. Those of you who don't get the reference, I'm talking about Treebeard from Lord of the Rings. Especially when he's talking to the hobbits. Meriadoc Peregrine Tuken Meriadoc Brandybuck. It's been a while since I've read the Lord of the Rings books. I should take some time to reread them. No, more accurately, probably if I'm rereading them, it'll probably be listening on audiobooks. Because that's usually what I do when I reread books. Because I don't have as much time to read as I used to. Originally, I was going to record this, like right now, it's about 8:23 in the evening. Originally, I was planning to record this video a little bit earlier, actually yesterday. I just have not been feeling up for doing much of anything productive the last couple days, like in the evenings. But after coming home from work and relaxing for an hour, watching some anime, eating some dinner, and took a shower, I started feeling up for it, so I'm recording this video now. So hopefully you guys enjoy it, you know? Alright. I gotta wait for our units to keep moving up. The AI kind of like has taken a nice position, but it means it's a very long walk. Because I don't want to tire my own troops out needlessly. by running them. There's one reason why you see me taking my time. Even with 3 times speed, they don't move very fast. Where are you? I see the enemy general, at least a cav unit back here. So they are most likely just hugging that red line, the red line right there. Damn noobs. Yeah. So this is honestly one of the hardest, like one of the best places if they were to hold would be kind of right here. Because they had like little hills advantage, but I think they're going more for like the flat line of hills and stuff, which would actually make my middle position better than it would be if they had been a little bit more aggressive. Oops. Let's walk the. Oh wait! Stop! 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 Oh, that guy just kind of rammed right into my shock cap, those poor dudes. Baggage train, they need your assistance. Fire your missiles! That cav is actually going to do a decent amount of work on my archers, unfortunately. I'm not really in a good position to stop it. These guys are going to make it in time to stop the charge. And neither my cav unit's going to make it in time to do much of anything either. You've used up all your ammunition, now charge. Advance at speed. You can do some flanking for me. That guy's gonna get killed. Just unfortunate I did lose some archers because of that, but it's not the end of the world. I'm gonna inspire him and fall him back real fast. Yeah, that guy should be kind of clobbered by these guys and their being their behinds. Yeah, I already racked up 15 kills and going up more. I'm gonna keep moving my cav up to assist in this battle. Where's my general now? Keep up the cycle charges. You are doing a really good job of keeping up the pressure. Got some nice point blank shots. I'm gonna charge these guys to chase after these dudes, I think. No, we need to relieve these archers of being slaughtered by these militias, which will be a even bigger problem, I feel. Where's my general? He's engaged in melee right now. Broke those dudes. Focus on these guys now. Now where's the general? I need to fall him back from his position, from where he's fighting right now. Alright, we need to keep this up, pushing in. Fall back that archer unit's kind of in the open right now. Let me fall back these cav units. That should be a really good rear charge there. I'm just going to you guys to break formation there and just attack. Give chase. Advance at speed. General's doing good work so far, with this, especially with his rear charges. Let me grab my archers over here and start getting them to position a little bit better. These guys are very spread out and facing multiple of my units. I'm surprised that they're not doing worse. What's the situation over here? Looks like we've won this flank, so I'm going to start squeezing into their center now. Well, I think they're about to break entirely right now. I think this is the last unit as their general. Alright, we win. Probably the actually would have done better if I'm being honest. I almost lost 2 units of archers because they got this one cav unit was able to cut through the lines and got to my archers before I can get to him. I should probably just, at this point, it looks like anytime I see a cav, I should probably just put 1 unit dedicated to my archers. I was hoping that they wouldn't like push past the big melee, but they ended up doing it and catching up my archers, and I wasn't properly I didn't have it properly aligned where the archers could help each other out. And the baggage train actually helped a little bit, but it was able to run around way too much. Because I didn't have the baggage train close enough. That's what I usually use to try and stick a cav unit in place when I catch them attacking my archers. It's the loss of 1 archer unit, but it kind of locks them in place enough for me to get my units to come in and surround it and kill it. Fortunately, I had forgotten to move it up with the rest of the troops, and I lost 2 archer units as a result instead of just 1. They're not completely gone; they will replenish, but it'll take longer than otherwise would have been. But hey, you guys got a battle out of it. I think that's not too bad. My Axemen, as always, did an amazing job with their flanking attacks. Let's occupy. I can't afford to like replace everything here. But we'll see what I do with it. I want to take Samosata. Originally, my plan was going to take Samosata and then move east to take Tushpa. But now there's kind of a very big problem. Originally, I was not planning for this war to be at war with the Seleucid Empire, at least not immediately. But with them now at war with me, now I have to contend with the fact if I take Samosata and move my army back over to Tushpa, they will attack Samosata, before I'm in position to do anything about it. Which means that I really do want to get rid of the Scythians as fast as possible. It does look like they have to go through other people to get to me. So what I'm going to do for now is I'm going to hope that Sirsena doesn't get defeated. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start following this guy to south to take Gabala. I do need that. I do need to take Gabala. What I'll do is, because I can, is I'll just set this to patrol region to help with the public order a little bit. I think I might just have to keep on the move here. If I could take this, that would be 1 entire faction out of the way. And honestly, I think taking even a minor faction is going to be better than taking just 1 settlement from Armenia. Just because of the AI, the little AI cheats that they get. I like that. Crisis? What crisis? Yeah, And now these guys are replenishing. There'll be 2 turns for those guys. There'll be 3 turns for those guys. So it won't take too long until I'll be ready to go. And I probably need to put down a rebellion in either Coron or Armasata. I would be surprised if there's one near Armavir, but I could be wrong. What happens if I this guy like right outside the city and I add him to patrol? Well, how much will that affect the public? I don't make it so they don't rebel immediately, at least. I think that's just what I'm going to have to do, especially because I doubt Armenia is going to be up. Yeah, Armenia can't even reach Armavir in that turn. They might attack my army, but if they do, my army will just slaughter them. I'm not overly concerned about it, if I'm being entirely honest. Let me check. I want to check something real fast. We set it to best performance for my stuff. I don't know how well the encoding was. Basically, I just changed my laptop's power settings to best performance for while recording the video. I turned it to just better instead of best performance before, because I decided I'm going to try putting less strain on my laptop. I'm setting it to just better performance because I can't for some reason set it to balanced. I don't know why. I'll need to do one more thing with my laptop. The reason why is because I don't want to like completely like run my laptop ragged, you know. I feel kind of bad at that. Oh, but they're coming to me. How perfect! I don't know why they think the game thinks I'm gonna lose. They have less forces than I do, and this is my best army. I think I'm gonna win this quite spectacularly. The only thing that they have advantage of is their troops are probably about the same tier as mine, if maybe slightly higher in tier. But we have hoplites, which means they're stubborn. And we have a decent amount of cav. They seem to only have 1 unit of cav, at least as far as I can tell. Maybe 2. Actually, probably 2 because they have 2 generals. So probably 2 cav. At most 3. But I didn't really bother checking because I was not expecting to have to deal with it until next turn. But on the bright side, with Athropakan coming to attack us instead of us having to chase after them, that puts us in a really good position. The reason why it puts us in a super good position is the fact that, you know, our hoplites are very defensive. But additionally, it does mean that we can just move on next turn to take their settlement. And honestly, I kind of like the idea. Like, there's this massive blob. I think it just looks intimidating, but very highly impractical. Not very practical, though. So after this battle, we should be able to just march straight in and take their capital. And we still have to deal with the garrison, but I should, assuming I don't get completely bodied somehow in this battle. If I somehow get bodied in this battle, then I won't be able to immediately do it. But I don't think I'll get too bodied in this battle. We have hoplites. This is my best army. Every other one of my armies has to have militia hoplites because I can't afford, you know, full multiple stacks of professional units. But who says I need multiple stacks of professional units when I can just make stacks of weaker units that do the job just as well? Because militia hoplites are nothing to sneeze at, especially when they have a nice core of professional units that can be to hold the center while they hold the flanks. They're slow, hopefully, at least if my strategy falls through, slowly being curled in towards the center, while the center is the one that needs to be kept alive long term. But with this one, the entire line is the strong center, and though admittedly my flank is actually a little bit weaker in this battle, in this army compared to the rest, because I don't have those axemen who are super good at flanking. But I still have my cav units, which do the job pretty well. And I do have some spare hoplites in this army to protect my archer line now. So that way they don't get, you know, have the same fate as what has happened in the other armies. So it's kind of a trade-off, essentially. Better at being defensive, not quite as good at flanking and stuff. But, you know, you take what you can get, after all. Let me make sure these are all in guard mode. I did like how then sometimes you get the lead general talking like in Rome 1 and Medieval 2. See, like I sometimes lose track of the enemy. So these guys are medium spear infantry. They look pretty nice. Very weak looking shields though. Could be wrong, but they don't look all metal. Admittedly, mine are all metal technically. It's a layer of metal over wood is usually how uplight shield's made. And then those guys, those ones definitely looking like they're definitely wood. The medium melee infantry. I don't see anything that's heavy infantry right now. Oh, here's heavy spear infantry, which puts them about on par as my guys in terms of like weight class. And their melee defense is pretty strong, but not quite. They don't quite have the melee defense I do, but they have a little bit better melee attack. Their weapon damage is higher, however. No, wait. Yeah, no, they're equal actually. Never mind. Their armor is a little bit worse, and their morale is a little bit better. They are faster, most likely, or maybe up the same speed. There's more of them per unit. Then we have, let's see, very light melee. These guys should be very light, but in the medium will probably be easily beaten by my own hoplite units, especially when they're flanked. It looks like the enemy's the other generals. I'm assuming is this the other general? Actually, yeah. Both of these two are probably the generals of the enemy. These ones I have to be careful about because I probably can't chase them down, even though they are very heavy and my guys are only heavy. I'm not sure if I'd be able to catch up to missile cav with my shock cav. Let me see if I can angle this guy really fast, a little bit more, so to help him not be flanked as much. It's still going to be a little awkward, but hopefully that helps a little bit. And kind of same with this one, I'm going to change him slightly. I'm also going to change these archers' position slightly as well to kind of match as well. Now I can start having my cav get involved here. Let me keep an eye on the situation in the centers. I don't want them just charging straight through, and if I need to stop them from, I want to focus fire these missile cav, because these missile cav is probably the main threat that we're gonna have to deal with. I'm not as worried about the melee troops here. They're pretty numerous. What's nice is that they've actually leaving this flank kind of open for me to deal with. I'm going to have these guys actually advance to try to intercept them because they don't look like they're trying to actually attack my own hoplites. Which means I actually get a free flank off here. Let's see. I'm going to start cycle charging these guys now. They're doing so far a really good job of focus firing this unit down. And I'll get this one to actually charge in right there. Get a nice flank here. They're charging straight into a phalanx hoplite group, so that should be a really bad situation for them. Oh, I was not expecting those guys to actually start chasing my dudes. Let me get a nice flank out here. So they were kind of caught flat-footed, so I'm actually going to start firing some units into them. gonna start moving my hoplites here. I might be able to just push them in and get some advantage off of them now that I don't need them in reserve. And that missile cav is getting kind of deleted now. Getting some nice charge, some nice damage here. They didn't charge my general, thankfully, when I was paying attention, so I don't have to worry about him getting deleted. I need to run these cav out now. They're kind of in a bad position. Let me try to charge them over here into these median infantry's backs. Let's start concentrating your fire now into the battle in the center here. I'm surprised that unit hasn't broken yet. I'm impressed. That unit is routed, which is really nice for us. And that means I can then continue folding in the flanks. Bam. This is a one battle. No doubts about it. Right now, it's just a question of how long these guys try to think, how long these guys think they can hold for. And then I'll start falling these guys back. Oh my, that guy came back from being routed at a bad time. Let's follow these guys back. I actually need to get these guys out of that fight and into that fight right now. Authority and eager. Why did they stop charging all of a sudden? That's kind of weird and annoying. Alright, that's good. Now I can get these guys back in that fight. These guys are starting to get a little beat up now. But on the bright side, we officially won this fight enough that I don't need to even worry about this guy being in trouble. They'll be able to squish these guys pretty effectively. Now these guys will get flanked as well. That one's broken already. See, how's that general looking now? He's starting to lose, so that's good. How's the situation here? Looks like they're starting to fall back a little bit. We've won this one, actually, so that's good. Broke them. They've actually charged those guys actually to flank. I'm impressed. Let me follow these guys back now. Get a good rear charge off, and that'll be really good for us. Let me get this unit here. That seems to be really weak to charge after those units there to keep them running. They tried to brace, but I think it was too late. think they're all mostly out of ammunition now, so I'm gonna start moving around here. I'll get that guy shattered. Those guys also shattered. I'm gonna get these guys to chase here. Run, run. I was too slow at getting them to run away. So I'm gonna lose a few of them, but they shouldn't get stuck in. Now there's just one unit left. Oh, I actually lost this unit. They kind of broke when there's no enemies around them, so that's kind of weird, but okay. Alright, we've won the battle. I'm just going to run them off a little bit, just to make sure that I get all of them that I want killed. My general got a really nice rear charge off, just as the battle was ending. My hoplites are not too much worse for it. This one kind of got damaged a little bit more than the rest. But overall, they did the job spectacularly. My cav got a little bit more injured because there's just so many spearmen that it was kind of hard to make sure they're able to kill stuff without getting too injured. So it was kind of a bit of a trade-off there. But we won the battle because of their efforts, so that's good on them. Run them down, cav! Run them down! No mercy for the wicked! Alright, let's quit the battle. That's good enough for me. That was a nice victory, if I do say so myself. I was trying to just checking the time. 390 kills from that guy. That's nice. 299. That one didn't get a whole lot of kills. I must not have used it for... Oh, maybe this is the one I sent against the generals. That probably was why. They don't have many kills. Yeah, these guys... Some of them got a lot of kills, some of them didn't. Probably the ones that didn't get a lot of kills like this one and are more wounded were probably against the heavy infantry that they have. So it's kind of, they were just holding. While these ones were probably the ones that got to flank, and I'll do a little bit of... To be the ones who flanked, they probably all just face the weaker units. They're able to just steamroll. This one was probably one of the ones I had in the back. Maybe this one too. Probably these two. They did get peppered with arrows a little bit, so that's probably why this one's damaged. And also why they don't have a lot of kills is because they joined the battle late. I guess they did technically have a little bit more troops than us overall. But they need even more than that to be a threat to Greeks. Alright, let's enslave these fools. Searston is ours. Though it's not very happy right now being ours. So it's like but it's their problem, though, not my problem. They shouldn't have fallen. I tried, they had one job, and they failed. Utterly failed. Royal rival comes of age. After careful bringing of various tutors in the art, sciences, and methods of warfare, this man is assumed his rightful place as a member of the royal family. His lineage can be traced back to the music of family tree, but his futures was gold. Sure, I'll take him into my family. Rebellion imminent in where? Here. Wherever this is. I'm gonna pop this guy in Armavir. I can't recruit some of my better troops. I can recruit some of my weaker ones here is the problem. I mean, I probably don't want to just make them an army of hoplites anyways. So I might just do like my low-level hoplites. What is this guy? Armored horse archer. I don't really want any of that. In this region, I don't have enough of my, I don't have enough Greeks to make a real Greek army here. So probably just have to do is just use militias. I can only recruit 1 unit of militias. Damn. I guess we'll have to use the Caucasus Spearmen to fill out this army. At least in the short term. Let's try to not build actually all of these yet. I do want to start converting some buildings that'll help with public order a little bit as well. I'm just demolish that as well. I was thinking about keeping them, but I decided against it. If I got you guys moving, how far could you guys advance? Not very far. Comparatively speaking, at least. Honestly, I probably need to keep this army here to keep Saracena happy. Probably should have moved it. Oh well. This year. I'm gonna just slowly scroll through this so you guys can see it. Some interesting historical stuff going on. You guys can pause it and whatever things you guys like that want. Concealed army, where? I probably will actually need to fall back to Saracen if that's actually an enemy army. Is there an enemy Seleucid army nearby? Does not seem to be an enemy Seleucid army here. So I shouldn't have to need to worry about immediate reprisals from the Seleucids if I keep up my offensive. We'll just finish these days off. Since they didn't want to be enslaved, I might as well let them see their gods in the afterlife. Let's see, what can I get? It's not bad. I do like that. I'm gonna go for the Formidable Spearmen, because this army is going to be almost entirely spears for probably forever, so that's the best I'm going to do. I do like the lower upkeep. What is this one? This is bonus ammunition, bonus armor. Let's go for this one and this one. That should be good. Fraspa shall be ours! I want to fight, part of me wants to fight this out, but I think I'm just going to resolve it. The reason why... The reason why is I kind of want the Atropicon to be dead this turn, this episode, but I kind of also feel like I shouldn't, because it's a faction dying. You know what I mean? So like part of me like wants to auto resolve. Like for example, I could auto resolve it with most of my forces intact, but I think I should just fight this out. So instead, what we're going to do is I'm going to encircle. We're going to finish up the rest of our episode stuff here. And then next episode is when we will take them out. I think that sounds like a good compromise. So I wish you guys a good day, night, evening, wherever you may be. And I will see you guys next time. I'm going to get this guy to start patrolling the region. That's actually probably not the best idea now that I think about it. I'm gonna just plop him, I guess, here, just in case. Next episode will be the end of Atropicon. We will take Fraspa for ourselves, removing them as a faction and as a potential threat, and then we will finish off their rulers out of Sentia. Armenia, we'll take Gabala, we'll take Tushpa, we'll take Samosata, and then we will show those Seleucids what fools they were to think that they would declare war on us and that we would be an easy defeat. We will take over the Seleucid Empire, making their vast territories our own. Sure, they may be causing some trouble. Well, actually, I thought that was Seleucid, never mind. But Egypt is holding them we will have allies in Egypt. Together, we will crush the Seleucids. And then once the Seleucids are dead, we shall find new enemies to conquer, to create our vast empire of the Bosphorus, originating in the Bosphorus. Soon enough, I imagine that we'll probably be going to war with Royal Scythia, because they seem to be a little bit more friendly with one of our enemies right now than us. They entered our non-aggression pact, which means usually means that they plan to go to war with us soon. And they do have a full stack right there, and we don't really have the biggest garrison at our hometown, which is a bit of a concern for me. So we will start needing to create an army there, when we can. I probably will want to upgrade this one to a metropolis or a Hellenic colony, whichever one provides a better garrison and just better overall benefits. So that way we can try and make sure we can hold our capital. Because right now it's focused a bit more on economics. There's a couple military stuff, but nothing that will help it right now. So we will need to take the metropolis, upgrade it to a metropolis, I think, within the next few turns, once Armenia is settled and we've decided what we're going to do about the Seleucids. There's one enemy at a time. One enemy at a time. But if you guys liked the video, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. Hopefully, for those of you on Rumble, this video might be seen a little bit late. Rumble's kind of weird. Sometimes it monetizes and says ready to share immediately, and other times it can take a little while. So hopefully it's released properly on Wednesday. Knock on wood, I guess. YouTube, though, I'll see you guys straight up on Wednesday. I'm recording these only a couple days ahead of time. I kind of fell behind because I was super busy, but I should start having a little bit more free time. Well, actually, I'll be super busy, and actually, I'll be even more busy. That's a lie. Work's been picking up. I'm getting ready to move. Crazy stuff, so I'm trying to keep up on the schedule as best I can. But take care, everybody.